And no mirror. And we are back. We are back. The channel where we talk about everything U.S. markets, U.S. headlines, and we make it fun, we make it interesting, and we make it valuable to you. So, what are we going to cover? We're going to talk about some of the headlines, and not only that, but we're going to break it down on TradingView so you can take the headlines and learn about how to make the best decisions for your strategies. Okay. So, some of the things that we're going to talk about are not only Rivian. We're going to talk about how they're going to supply Uber with 50,000 robotaxis. We're going to talk a little bit about gold and silver. We're also going to talk about Tesla, because Tesla's in talks with Chinese firms to buy $2.9 billion worth of solar panels. We're also going to talk about Amazon, because Amazon just acquired a robotic startup called River. It's a Swiss robotics company for doorstep delivery. We're also going to talk a little bit about Supermicro. Why? Because the U.S. prosecutors charged Supermicro, some of their employees, with smuggling NVDA chips illegally to China. We're also going to talk about Unilever and McCormick. Why is that? Well, because Unilever is in talks to sell its food business to McCormick, transferring the owner of the mayonnaise into a maker of beauty and personal care products. So there's that. Also, we have Apollo coming up. Apollo says that sell-off in software stocks from fears of AI disruption is not over, it's going to continue. Also, another headline is oil. We're going to talk a little bit about oil. How could we not, right? Oil is big time in the headlines. So that and more. And not only that, again, like I said, we're going to break it down here on TradingView. We're going to get into some of the indicators, some of the chart patterns, especially a lot of the earnings and some of the revenue and incomes, things like that. And as always, if you have a question or a comment, just feel free to shoot me a message. And yeah, no problem there. So let's get right into it. Again, sure, but just the AI data center in Louisiana, according to Amazon, will create 540 full-time jobs. Another 700 roles for electricians, technicians, and security specialists. And also right here, Meta also invested $27 billion last year in a joint venture with Blue Owl. That's the Mammoth Hyperion data center in Louisiana. Okay, and let's see, also right here, between 2022 and 2026, the demand for robotic technicians increased 107%, according to global analysts of 50 million job posting released in Randstad on Wednesday. Okay, so to put that in a big perspective, okay, for cooling, for HVAC, system engineers, the growth rate was 67%, and vacancies for industrial automation technicians grew by 51%, okay? Meanwhile, job listings for traditional skilled trade jobs such as construction workers and electricians increased by 27%. So, trying to pass on some good news. It's not all, bad news, although it does seem that way sometimes. But yeah, it's good to spread something positive. Hopefully something positive will come from that. Yeah. It also said here that the advertised wages for HVAC engineers have increased by 10 to 15% in the past 4 years, and specialized and technical professionals moving into high-level data center roles often see a 25% to 30% pay increase. Okay, so yeah, hopefully it's a little bit of a bright spot. Now going to the next one, let's talk about Rivian. Okay, who is Rivian? Well, if you don't know, I'll show it for example. Rivian. Here it is. Who is Rivian? In case you're not aware, yes, Rivian is the American electronic vehicle maker, founded in 2009. Specializes in adventure-oriented trucks and SUVs. It's based in Irvine, California. But yeah, so Rivian right now is going to supply. Where's my Rivian? Yeah, right here. Rivian to supply Uber with up to 50,000 robo-taxis in exchange for 1.25 billion in funding. Again, this is not a script. This is all my notes that I take copious amounts of time every day. And so And they're starting to do this. They're going to have this up and going by 2028, and they plan to scale to 25 cities by 2031. Now, when this happened, Rivian stock surged 10%, in early trading. So yeah. Also, let's take a look in at Rivian right here. Let me refresh this right here. Rivian right here. Okay, and this is the 1 day chart. Okay, here's the 1 day. Yeah, Rivian secured a $300 million equity investment from SMB Holdings, plus 90 million more tied to autonomy milestones. Funding may be common stock or pre-fund. Yeah, okay. So for example, right here, Rivian Automotive engages in design, development, and manufacture of category-defining electric vehicle and accessories. There we go. And okay, so the first thing let's touch on, let's just do a quick review of some of the indicators right here. One thing you're looking at right here is the RSI, the Relative Strength Index. And I'll be very, very brief about this. I won't get into too lot of complicated detail, but just to make it simple, you have the overbought line, which is the 70, oversold line, which is the 30, right there, 70 and 30, if you can see that. And again, those are just guides. They don't really mean that they are overbought or they are oversold. It just means that in that area, they tend to become getting ready for a correction to come down or getting ready for a correction to go up. But they can stay very, very overbought or very oversold for a long time before they actually do market correct. But one of the things you want to keep in mind is right here in this area, this is what we call the neutral area between 45 and 55, or sometimes 40 and 60 thereabouts. But you can see that why is that important? Why do you need this information? Well, because when you see this, you can correlate it there with the chart pattern up here. So for example, right here, you can kind of see, you see right here, there's invisible ceiling, right here, there's invisible floor, and you can call it either the resistance, the support, etc., whatever, consolidation, continuation. It all kind of means the same thing. Now, that's one chart pattern you can see, and you can see that looking right there at the RSI. Another thing that you can use sometimes is what we call the divergence, otherwise known as the MACD. Again, I'll be brief on this. It gets very complicated, but I'll keep it brief here. The blue line, when it crosses the red line right there, right here, see the blue line, this is the MACD right here in the middle. This is the RSI, this is the MACD. When the blue line crosses the red line going down, you see up here this right here, the downward chart pattern. Crosses it right here, bang, right here, bang. Going up, it crosses it going up, you see the upward chart pattern right there, okay? That's the MACD. It's basically used sometimes as a, you can oftentimes see the correlation between what's happening here and what's happening here. The same with the RSI, they just do it a little bit differently. Again, but if you have more questions about that, just drop me a message. That's what that's for. So there's that. A little bit about the MACD, a little bit about the RSI, and let's go here for some chart patterns. Anytime I'm going through this and you have a question or comment, just send me a message and I'll get right back to you, okay? So let me see right here. Let me erase these for you. Okay, now, you're looking at chart patterns, and this is on Rivian because Rivian just did a deal with Uber. Uber is gonna, Rivian will supply Uber with their vehicles. Now for chart patterns, look at right here. Here's your head, right here. Here's your left shoulder. Here's your right shoulder. And right here, that's what we call the head and shoulders, because you see right there, the left shoulder, right shoulder. And what I want you to understand is it's not always a clear-cut shoulder line, okay? So for example, it could be kind of diagonal like this one, kind of hunched over, etc. It all kind of, it's not exactly like a square shoulder is what I mean. So you can see that pattern there. And this does what it's supposed to. A head and shoulder is actually supposed to break out and go down. This does exactly that. It breaks out and goes down right there. And right here, let's go right here. here's let's go. Let's see some more fun ones. Okay, here's a good one. This is Rivian, and right here, you see a good one. Here's your head. Here's your, you can, when you zoom out, you kind of see these more. Here's your left shoulder, here's your right shoulder, and then here's your neckline, okay? So right here, head, left shoulder, right shoulder, and again, there's your neckline. And zoom out, and you'll see how, yes, it does actually break out down here some more, okay? Now again, if you're just joining and you wonder what you stepped in, this is the channel where we talk about everything US markets, US headlines, and everything about the markets and headlines. So we break down the companies, we use TradingView to show you the different indicators, to show you the different charts. We're also gonna get into earnings, the profits, the incomes, it's the revenues, etc. like that. And then if there's other questions that you have, there's also a way to ask more questions right there, but that's what's coming up, okay? So we got a whole lot going on here, and let's see, more chart patterns here. For example, sometimes these chart patterns jump out and sometimes they don't. Let's see, here's another right here. For example, here is, here's another head and shoulders. Sometimes there's a lot of head and shoulders, and sometimes there's a lot of double tops and double bottoms. I'll show you those coming up, okay? So here you are, and then right there again, bang, it's going down right there, okay? And here's another big one. Okay, if you're into head and shoulders, here's a big one right here. So here's your head right here, here's your left shoulder, here's your right shoulder, neckline, and then bang, here it is. Boom, okay? So yeah, you see how this one right here, this one really forms a big one, and then it breaks out and goes down too. Looks really, really nice, okay? Yeah, and I'm gonna try to get you one more before we go to the earnings side of it. I'm trying to get you a double bottom, a double top. Let's see if I can, when you adjust the timing, right now we're on 1 day. If you go to a 1 minute chart, you'll also see different patterns jump out. It all depends on how you look at it. So I encourage you to look at it in different ways. Well, on the next chart, there'll be other patterns too. But I want you to also notice that right here, as I change this, the more price action you have in the price chart, the more trade volume you're gonna have right here. You see the trading volume, how it jumps up. That also correlates with the price action there, okay? And so right now, one of the things that you're gonna see is that the volume right now is 78.9 million, and you can see right there it just jumped up on that bar, and the market cap is sitting at 20 billion right now. Now let's go to the earnings report, okay? So for example, right here looking at the earnings, you have quarterly, you have annually, okay? It's good to look at both. Well, for example, quarterly is short term, annually is long term generally, unless people are most people have a longer term strategy, but not always. But that's why a lot of times the annual is more important. So quarterly, if you look right here, even though Q4 is negative, it wasn't as negative as it was supposed to be. So that's actually a positive earnings report. Same thing with Q3. You see how the blue bar is less negative than the gray bar, so that earnings were less negative than predicted. Q2, however, was more negative than predicted. So again, that was a bad earnings report. Go to annually, see how it changes. 2025, again, less negative than predicted. 2024, also less negative than predicted. 2023, also. So all 3 years had a positive earnings report because they were less negative than they were supposed to be. But again, that's just because they beat the earnings forecast. Now, let's see how the earnings ties up with the revenue, the income, and the profit, okay? So look right here. Hit the annual button, and you'll see that right here, 2023, 2024, and 2025, right here, all of them are green. Now, for example, green doing good as far as revenue, profit, income are concerned, okay? So if you look again right here, I want to explain, for example, when you look at the annual earnings report, it's all negative, right? But it's just not as negative as it was supposed to be. So come here to statements, and everything is good, right? So that's why I say, just because you have a negative earnings report does not mean that you're going to have a negative revenue or profit. Okay, so bear that in mind. Again, some people also like to look at the forecast. I really don't, but if you're one that does enjoy the forecast, here it is. I don't put much stock into this, but take it with a bucket of salt. But here it is anyway, right there. So your forecast, yeah. And then back to the chart here. Again, that was Rivian. Now let's talk about another one. For example, we can't go too far without talking a little bit about gold and silver, because right now gold and silver are kind of selling off as inflation fears grip the global markets. Again, gold sank for the 7th session as the war in Middle East drove oil prices higher. Silver slumped 13% in 3 weeks into the war. Soaring crude and gas raised inflationary risks, and global stocks and bonds also sold off amid the war. Surging energy prices that forced some investors to sell their positions, also in precious metals, to raise cash. That was also part of the problem. Another thing is, but bullion is still up more than 6% this year. So even though the upper momentum is kind of stalling out right now. So again, right now there's a lot going on that's affecting the gold and silver prices, but that's just one of them. Again, the dollar is getting stronger because oil is getting stronger, so bear that in mind. And let's take a look here. For example, I wanted to show you some of the, let's take a gold stock right here. Gold. Let's do this. Freeport McMoran is one of the gold miners. Yeah, welcome to everyone who's joining to the channel where we talk about everything U.S. markets, U.S. headlines, everything else, and everything in between. Mac Berman. Hello, greetings and welcome to the channel. We're discussing a little bit about, right now at the moment, we're talking everything U.S. markets and headlines, but we're discussing a little bit about gold and silver right now. And so I brought up Freeport McMoran, which is a big miner. If you have comments or questions about gold or silver, feel free to put them in. And here we are. Let's see, here's the chart for Freeport McMoran. And again, this is the 1-day chart. I'm on TradingView right now. And right now, one of the things that, let's see, here we are, down here at the RSI. One of the things I look at first is the RSI. Right here, down here at yeah. So the RSI is sitting here at 33, as we've gone over before. The RSI, the oversold line is about 30, and the overbought line is around 70. But again, those are just guides. Remember, the over 70, under 30. But they can go very, very overbought before they ever correct. Look right here. You see how this goes way past 70 before it finally corrects and comes down. The same thing can happen in the oversold part of it as well. So keep that in mind. Right now you're sitting at 34. So it's getting pretty close. You might be thinking like it might be due for a correction. Let's see. Yeah, right now all the metals mining companies are dropping because also the price of the metals is dropping. So that's part of it. And yeah, look at this price chart. It was doing so well, and then bang, it's just dropping. But yeah, and that's, as you can see, the correlation between the RSI and the price chart right here. Bear that. If you have any questions, yes. And let's see. Greetings, and welcome to all those who are joining. We're doing some analysis on Freeport McMoran because we're talking about gold and silver at the moment. We'll be talking more about Tesla, Unilever, and Apollo, and Supermicro and Amazon coming up. Right now we're just analyzing one of the mining stocks, one of the big ones. And as you can see, let me give you some chart patterns right here. Okay, so here we are. Oh, here's one. As you can see right here, this came down to one bottom, comes down to another bottom. So right there, you have a double bottom, and what a double bottom does is it the sellers lose momentum and the buyers take over, and it goes up. Yes. Davey Juvera, thank you very much for the likes. And yeah, let's see. Let me give you another. Right here. Here's your. Sometimes the chart patterns also do not break out. let me show you one here. Here's your reverse. There's your left shoulder. Here's your reverse head, your right shoulder. This one, by definition, is supposed to break out from the neckline and go up. But as you can see, it doesn't actually go up. There's just the neckline, and then there's no breakout. So again, you have to keep that in mind with the chart patterns. Over here, bum bum bum. And sometimes the head and shoulders is offset by the reverse head and shoulders. What do I mean by that? See right here, you see the head, left shoulder, right shoulder, and then here's the reverse, and then the reverse head and shoulders. Let me show that to you. So right here, head, and then left shoulder, right shoulder, and then neckline breakout right there. And then here's the reverse head, left shoulder, right shoulder, and then neckline. See, it's offset. One head and shoulders comes down, the other head and shoulders goes up. That also happens with the double top and double bottom sometimes, so be aware of that. And here we are. Oh, okay, here's a good double bottom that jumps out right here. You see this right here, bang, there's your double bottom, and then it jumps up, right? And even on double bottoms, they have their neckline, okay? So for example, here's your neckline right here, right there, neckline, and then there, when it breaks out, it goes past that and goes up, there you go. And over here, you can see right here, here's your head, and then left shoulder right here. Here's your neckline breakout. See, head, left, right, neckline breakout. Yes, right there. Good. That's actually, this one has a lot of head and shoulders in it, as you can see. I won't go through them all, but you get the idea. Again, if you have more questions about chart patterns or certain chart patterns that you want to see, just feel free to send me a message right there. That's what that's for. Just tell me if you're looking for chart patterns, or if you want more information about indicators, or information about how to do earnings or statements reports. Just send me a message and we can go with that. And let's go back over here to the beginning. Let's go right here to, yeah. Also, again, keep in mind right here, the Again, here's the trade. Here's the volume markers. The more price action, the more trade volume. Okay. So right here, there's less price action, so there's less trade volume. Yeah. And right here, you have volume is at 27.5 million. Market cap is at 77 billion, and the earnings, let's look at the earnings. The earnings right now, quarterly, again, you want to look at both quarterly and annually, but quarterly will tell you the short term, annually will tell you the long term. Just depends on what you're looking for. And right here you'll see Q4, Q3, Q2. The blue represents what they actually did earn, as far as the recordings. The blue, the gray represents what was expected on Wall Street. Okay, so you can see each blue bar is higher than the gray bars. So the earnings report was, the actual report was better than Wall Street's predictions. Yeah, and there's that. So annually, 2025. Lucas, yes, okay, that's it. Yes, I kind of I share your same sentiment. Now tell me why you say that. Yeah, I share your sentiment, but explain why you say that. So here, 2025, 2024, and 2023 for the year were all higher than their expectations. Their annual earnings were higher than expectations. So again, good earnings report there. Now let's see how that compares with the statements right here. Statements, if you go annually, boom, boom, boom. Again, here's a good example. Just because you have a good earnings report doesn't mean your revenue or your profits or your income is always going to be good. Here's a good example of that. Because 2025, look at this. 2025, super negative all the way down. Your revenue, your profit, your income, it's all red, all negative. And 2024, again, look right there. This one happens to be all green, all good. And 2023 actually was all red, all negative. So if you look right here, let me show you that again. Dun, dun. annual earnings. So again, you're looking at 2025, 2024, and 2023. Everything was above expectations. Everything was positive. But here on statements, again, 2025 and 2023, revenue, income, and profit were terrible. Only 2024 was good. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at the details and information that you want. Again, if you want the forecast, it's here, but I wouldn't put too much stock into it. But yeah, it's right there. Now let's go on. I just wanted to mention gold and silver because it is a hot topic right now, and I know what you mean. You know, with everything that's going on in the Middle East with oil, and then the price of gas, the price of oil, and the petrodollar, and all that. It's changing a lot, and everything is. Some investors are selling their positions just to get some of their cash that they need. So there's that. Now let's take a look here at Tesla. Why am I talking about Tesla? Well, because for example, right now, Tesla is also going to buy 4.3 billion of LG Energy battery cells from a disbanded GM plant. Yeah, there's that. So Tesla is expanding ties with LG Energy Solution and has agreed to buy $4.3 billion worth of battery cells produced in Lansing, Michigan. Okay, this is, and the cells will be made by LG at a plant that was formerly developed for a joint venture between the Korean battery company and General Motors before the automaker decided to stop and retreat. So for example, the details were announced as part of a $56 billion private sector commitments. There we go, and striking a deal to buy 4.3 billion of the battery cells, etc. Now, also another reason why Tesla's in the news right now is right here. Yeah, so this is also interesting. Check this out. Exclusive Tesla in talks with Chinese firms to buy 2.9 billion worth of solar equipment. Okay, now what's this about? Again, not a script. For example, the solar equipment, which includes panels and cells, okay, is from the Chinese suppliers, and Musk is aiming to add 100 gigawatts of solar capacity to the U.S. before 2028. That's a lot. And Musk said that in January that solar could meet all the electric needs of the U.S., including increasing demands from data centers. And U.S. power consumption hit its second straight record high in 2025 and will rise further in 26 and 27. In 2024, the U.S. had 1,300 gigawatts of energy capacity to create electricity, and of that only 10% or 135 gigawatts was solar. Okay, so bear that in mind. We didn't have much solar back then. Jim Sam, yes, good morning. Welcome. Yeah. Right now we're covering the U.S. markets and U.S. headlines, talking about, at the moment, we're talking about Tesla and what Mr. Musk is doing. So, yeah, so let's take a look at Tesla right now. Why not, right? All right, here we go, Tesla. Here you are. Yeah, here we go. Okay, let me adjust some of the details on this, bring this down a little bit. Yes, Jim Sum, I totally agree with you. We actually just covered a little bit with gold and silver as well. Since you mentioned that, yeah, here's the headline: gold and silver plunge as the Iran war, heats up. Yeah, what is it? Gold slid as much as 6.6%, and I think silver. Hold on, and silver slumped 13%. Yeah, I believe. Let's see. I think so. I wrote that down. Just want to make sure I'm telling you the right thing. But yeah, I know what you mean. But here's the thing, Jem Sam. Tell me if I'm wrong, or tell me if you have a different thought. But with gold having the purpose later on of being used with the bricks and the unit and stuff like that, and actually becoming more and more part of the monetary system in the future, and then silver also being a very much in demand industrial well, it's now a critical mineral, right? So silver was also put on the critical minerals list. So even though it's sliding right now, it's partially sliding just because it's priced on the dollar, and the dollar is actually getting stronger, right? So it'll, for example, once things balance out, gold and silver are going to have a large upside potential. Would you agree or disagree? And let me know where I'm kind of off. If you think I'm off, it's okay. And so there's that. Let's see, Mike Humphrey, hello to you too. And yeah, so there, and here, let me finish up on, here's Tesla. Where's my Tesla? Yeah, for example, Tesla is in talks with the Chinese firms to get solar energy, and here we are on trading view. Here's Tesla. Right now, let me change the timing on this thing. Here we go, you can see it better. Okay. Yes, Mike Humphrey, thank you for the gifts. Yes. And let me know if you have a question or a comment, or if there's a ticker you want to see analyzed, just put it in the comments, Mike, and because we're doing some analysis on TradingView right now. We're looking at Tesla. Let me know. All right, and here we go. Right here, yeah, you'll notice one thing right here. Let me get my arrow. Right now, the RSI, the relative strength index, right here is at 36, and it's not neutral, but it's still very far away from being oversold, so it's got room to run. And you'll also notice the same thing right up here. You'll notice it's actually pretty, it's almost like consolidating right here. It's going up and down the same amount, and you'll see the same thing here in the, right here in the price chart, right there. Okay, see here in the price chart, you see how it goes up and down. There's an invisible ceiling, invisible floor right there. Right here, you also have the invisible ceiling, invisible floor. Okay, so you can call it the resistance, the support, whatever you want to call it, consolidating, etc. And then you'll see also, notice what's happening here with the MACD. It's basically the same thing. The MACD is just running parallel to the signal line right there. Jim Sum, but gold has encountered strong resistance around 45 an ounce. Isn't now the perfect time to pick up some? See, Gemstom, I'm with you. I'm on your same wavelength there. It's almost like, yeah, it's almost like there's a floor right there at 4,500. I kind of share your same sentiment. Yes. Pick up some chips now, and it will, again, like I said, because of its future uses, it's got a large potential upside. Yeah. Actually, the reason why I'm hesitating to talk a lot is because on this live stream, it's an educational channel, so I can't say anything that might sound suggestive or that might sound even a bit like a recommendation. But what you could do, if you want, send me a message and we can talk more directly. I just can't say a whole lot on the live stream, but I really enjoy gold and silver, and I invest in it as well. So if you want to send me a message, we can get more specific about it, because I do. I share your same sentiment. Yeah. Thanks for the comments. And let's see. Yeah, so let's go here. We're on Tesla. Let's check out a couple of chart patterns. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, here you are. Bum, bum. Here's your head, left shoulder, right shoulder. There we go. Yeah. Hey, no problem, Jim. Thank you as well. Anyone that can talk about gold and silver is cool in my book, so I appreciate it too. Yeah, talk to you soon, man. Here we go. And let me adjust this chart so you can see some more. So okay, here's one of your head and shoulders there, and then over here, bum bum bum. Yeah. Here, if I'm not missing these, yeah. When you zoom in and zoom out, you'll see different chart patterns emerge. And then right here, bum, 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 you'll see the double bottom. Here's your double bottom right there, double bottom. And then when this one does what it's supposed to, okay, right here, it breaks out and goes up. Okay, zoom it out and you'll see it better, or zoom it in and zoom it out, you'll see it more merged that way right there. And right here again, some of these are smaller, you can't see them very well, but you see the pattern here. If you zoom out, here's your reverse head, and then left shoulder, right shoulder right there, and yeah. For any of you that have questions or comments about anything that I'm doing as far as the patterns or with gold and silver, you can always you can see right behind me. That's my WhatsApp. Just send me a WhatsApp and let me know any of your questions, or you can dive more specifically into the comments and the discussion that way, because on the live stream we can only go kind of surface level or very brief. But yeah, just there you go. If you want to be more specific, and if there's more questions about certain tickers, just drop them in the comments and we can analyze them as we go as well. Okay. Here's your right here. Here's your reverse. Again, here we drop this down. Here's your reverse head, left shoulder, right shoulder, neckline. Dun, dun, dun. Got it, there we go. Here's your neckline, and then right here, it breaks out and goes up right there. Bump, bump, bump. So there's your reverse head and shoulders, break out and goes up. And welcome, Renee, how are you? Welcome to the channel where we talk about everything US markets, US headlines, break them down on TradingView. We also go into the earnings, the chart patterns, all the technicals, and yeah, there we go. And if you have other specific questions or comments, just send me a message and we can communicate that way as well. But here's, for example, if you're looking here on TradingView, this is a double top right here. Here's your double top, and then bang, it goes down. There's that. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Now let's go over here to the fundamentals. As I break this down, right here, you can see right here the price chart is very neutral, very consolidating. So here you'll see what you see right here is the same thing in the volume. There's not much volume here because there's not much price action here. Okay, so right here you'll see. Let's go over here again. Looking here on TradingView, the volume 67 million, market cap is at 1.4 trillion, and down here the earnings. Right here, the earnings, you'll see quarterly, right here, quarterly and annually. Generally, you want to look more at the annually, but if you want to know the quarterly, it's right here again. The blue bars represent what was actually recorded. The gray represents what was predicted. So when they beat the prediction, it looks better on Wall Street. It looks like the company is stronger than it's supposed to be. There you go. And as you can see, Q4 beat the predictions, Q3 the predictions, Q2 equaled the predictions. So to summarize, for example, retired DFO, let's see, do I teach options day trading? For example, if you have more questions about that, yes, you can send me a message and I can get back to you that way for sure. Let me know in the message what your specific questions are, okay? But yeah, there's always that option. And right here for annual, for example, here you'll see that 2025 and 2025 equaled expectations, and 2024, yeah, missed expectations just by a little bit, and right here 2023 beat expectations. Clifton, good morning from good morning to you too, and welcome to the fun channel where we talk about everything U.S. markets and headlines, and we break it down here on TradingView for you. And we promise not to be too boring. Okay, we're not one of those boring channels. If you have a question about a ticker or a company, feel free to drop it in the comments. And yeah, thanks for all the likes. It's fun. And we're looking at Tesla right now because Tesla's buying a bunch of solar from China, and they're gonna try to add 100 gigawatts of solar energy by 2028. So right now, Tesla for 2025 equaled their earnings expectations. 2024 missed it, but 2023 beat it. So how did the earnings compare with their profits and income and revenue? Let's take a look. All right, here we go. Dun, dun, dun. Here we go. Hit the annual button there. And right here, 2025, as you can see, 2025 all red. So even though 2025 right here equaled the earnings expectations, their profits and earnings and revenue was all terrible. Same thing with 2024, and almost the same thing with 2023. Okay, so 2023, you'll see the only thing good was the revenue and the net income. 2024, the only thing good was the revenue. Now, again, this is the revenue, income, and profit. But if you were to look back here, Alice, welcome to the channel. Hello, hello. Thank you for the likes. Let me know what you're liking. And if you look here at the earnings side, right here, you would say, hey, the earnings look pretty good overall. But again, go back here to the profits and income, and it doesn't look so good. Good morning, Alice. Yes. Haruki, hello. Hello, hello, everyone. Jumping into the channel here. We're talking everything U.S. markets, U.S. headlines. If you have a question or a ticker that you want to see, just drop it there. And that's Tesla, okay? So after Tesla, let's take a look here at Amazon. What's up, Amazon? Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. Amazon acquires the startup called Reaver. It's actually a Swiss robotics company. And well, basically, they're going to be working more with robots to deliver your packages. So, would you want your package delivered to your house by a robot? And what would your first reaction be when you saw that? So, River is known for its four-legged delivery robots, and let's see, doorstep delivery. And they've been investing a lot, Amazon has, with automating everything lately. Jim Som, welcome back. Hello, hello. Yes, always nice to have you. What's up? And yeah, but for example, yeah, here we go. Amazon Robotics Unit was formed after it acquired the Kiva Systems, which is a manufacturer of warehouse robots, for $775 million. In 2012, and it's already using 1 million robots. So again, it's not like this is new to Amazon. Amazon's already using 1 million robots in their warehouses, and so let me know your thoughts. Happy Friday, Jim Sam. Yes, indeed, good stuff. I hope it's a happy Friday for you. Yeah. Yeah, here we go. Amazon, not only are they using robots in their warehouses, but now they're coming to your house. Yeah, and Amazon's also been in the news recently because they're trying to tweak their drone delivery system as well. So I thought I would show you that. So here we go. Let's take a look at Amazon. Bum, bum, bum. Amazon right here. Dun, dun, dun. Yes. Happy Friday to everyone. Everyone is jumping on. Hope you're having a good Friday. Let me know what's on your mind. If you have a ticker, just drop it in the comments. Say hello. Dun, dun, dun. And here we go. Right here. Okay. Now looking over here. Hold on. I'm trying to move this up. There we go. And move this down. There we go. That's better. Okay. Looking here at the relative strength index. Again, right here, we have 44. And that's very, very neutral. Remember we talked about between 45 and 55 or 40 and 60, that's a very neutral area. And when you see that, you know that the price chart is going to be basically consolidating like it is here. Not moving, it's just staying the same. And Dubra, thank you for the follow, and everyone joining. Good to have you here. US markets, US highlights, and we're analyzing them also here on TradingView. Dun, dun, dun. You'll see all the charts, patterns. We'll talk about the indicators, earnings and forecasts and profits and revenues and what it means, what it doesn't mean, stuff like that. But we'll do it in a fun way, okay? Yes, it doesn't have to be boring. Happy first day of spring. Larry Lee, yes. Happy first day of spring to you too. Hope you're having a good spring day wherever you are. And dun, dun, dun. Okay, here we go. Here's some chart patterns. Dun dun dun. All right, we got a. Let me highlight this for you here. My circle. You see my circle right there? That's a double top. I wish bearish on gold. I was bearish on gold yesterday. I made $2,000. Yes, Jim Som. That's one of the things. Elijah. What are you sorry about, Elijah? Jim Som. Yes, actually, I know what you mean. Gold and silver are continuing to get hammered right now. But what do you think, Jim Som? Eventually, they have a very good potential upside, right? Or you disagree? Let me know your thoughts. Oh, okay, sorry. I didn't catch it. Sorry. Thanks, Elijah. Bum, bum, bum. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. Let's see. And Elijah, no worries. I didn't see it, but thank you for apologizing anyway. Bum, bum, bum. And yes, welcome, Jim Som. Gotta have a sense of humor here. Let's see. All has a flu. Welcome. Yes. Elijah, bye you too. Let's see. Okay, so there's your double top pattern, and it drops like it's supposed to. And wherever you guys are, I hope you're having fun and enjoying your Friday. I hope you're off to a good start. And congratulations again to you, Jim Som, for the bear. It's actually Jim Som. Here, this is for you. Here's your bear, and for knowing what to do with the bear. Yes. There we go. And okay. Right here. A couple other. Okay, on Amazon. Let me see some other chart patterns here. I can get for you. Okay, here's another one. This one jumps right out at me. Here's your double bottom, right there. Double bottom, and bang, it jumps up, as you can see. Here we go. Let's see right here. There's your double bottom. And then let's see, zoom out. When you zoom in and zoom out, you will see different ones appear, okay? So for example, look right here. This is kind of interesting. Again, your head and shoulders don't always have straight shoulder lines. They have very different shoulder lines. Here you go, boom, boom, boom. Head, left shoulder, right shoulder. Here's your neckline. And then you can see it does break out a little bit. It's a diagonal neckline, but it does break out. Dun, dun, dun. I believe joy should be shared, which is why I enjoy your Jim Som. Thank you very much. Good stuff. I'm glad you enjoy it. And yes, I agree. Joy should be shared. You know, send me a message and let me know what else you're joyful about. Okay. Always good to hear about your success and positivity. Yeah. All right, here we go. And dun. Here's your reverse. Left shoulder, right shoulder. And again, remember I said sometimes, thank you for the likes, guys. I appreciate it. Welcome. Flo, hello. And sometimes, remember I said the double tops and double bottoms, they balance each other out. Same thing with the head and shoulders and the reverse head and shoulders. At the same time, your smile is infectious. Jim Som, you're saying all the right things, man. I appreciate it. Good. I'm glad I'm doing something right. Yes? Yes. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Yes. I'm Alex. I'm listening. Teach me. All right. Just follow along. And Alex, if there's something that I cover too fast, or if you have other questions about anything that I don't touch on, you can always just send me a message to learn more. Okay. But right now we're looking at the chart patterns. We got some double tops, double bottoms, and we also have the head and shoulders and reverse head and shoulders going on. As you'll see on this one, they actually balance each other out right here. So here's your head, shoulders, and reverse head and shoulders. Wait, is it? For example, Alex, this is everything U.S. markets and U.S. headlines, and then we take some of those companies in the U.S. markets and headlines, and we break them down here. We just analyze the companies on TradingView. So, for example, yeah, that's cool. So, yeah, very good. Thanks, Lucas. Thanks, Alex. And again, guys, if you have other questions, other comments, just pop me a message and go from there. Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. And yeah, happy Friday to everyone. Dun, dun, dun. Here we go. Right here, for example, here's another head and shoulders right here. Bang. Dun, dun, dun. And it does. This one does breakout. Yes. Good. Right there. Okay. Let's see. Yes. Welcome, IDK. For example, let's see. Oh, for example, Alex. Yeah, good question. Basically, it's kind of like everything else. We're building a community, and you know, the more views, the more likes, the more comments, the more messages. It boosts the algorithm. So yeah, we get a bigger community that way. It's kind of like, you know, the same thing. You know, on YouTube, I've been looking at day trading for so long, I just don't know how to start. Yeah, Alex, good question. Again, send me a message and we can talk more freely there, because this is an educational channel. We don't get too much into the specifics, and I don't say anything too specific here. I just give you the general information here. Then send me a message and I can be more specific with you. It works out that way. I know what you mean. You don't know where to start. Start by education. That'll work fine. But yeah, that's what the number is for right behind me. If you want to contact me to get more specific information and stuff like that. There's other channels, other books and things I can recommend. Yeah, no problem, Alex. Glad to help out. Keep learning, keep growing. Dun, dun, dun. And then, okay. So yeah, there's some chart patterns, there's the indicators, and again, I can be more specific. Send me a message. Breeze Flowers, hello, welcome to the channel where we're talking everything US markets. Right now we're on Amazon, and right here you'll see Amazon's volume, let's see, is down, 1 second. Right here, the volume is down a little bit. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, and when there's less volume, less trade volume, that usually means there's less price action, which you can see right there. And yeah, so when there's less price action, but here, over here, there's more price action. You can see right there and right there, more price action. So there's more trading volume. Okay, right there. And right now we have volume at 36.4. Thank you for the likes, Alex. I appreciate it. Looking forward to helping you more. And right now the market cap is at 2.24 trillion. And right here, for example, when you go to the earnings side, yeah, earnings side, there's quarterly and there's annually. Depending on what you're looking for, you want to look at them both, all right? But a lot of times, generally annually is more important for the strategy. But we'll look at both. So quarterly, when you look at this, you see the blue part. When the blue part is actually what they actually earned, what was recorded, okay? So what was recorded is actually less than what's predicted. If it's less than what's predicted by Wall Street, that shows maybe a little bit of weakness or not as strong of a company as they wanted to see. So bear that in mind. But you can have a bad quarter and still have a good year overall. Just like here, the Q3, you see how Q3, the reported part, the blue part was higher than the gray part. So again, they beat Wall Street on that quarter. Same thing with Q2. It's what you call beating the forecast on Wall Street. So it makes the company look stronger, more full of life and vitality. It looks like they're doing something good. Now, here's the thing though. Let's look at annual. Annual right here, 2025. Yes. See here, 2024, right here. For those looking at the earnings side, they have a bad quarter, yes, but on the year, everything was good. The year beat the Wall Street forecast. Same thing with 2024. And on 2023, the same thing. So you can summarize on Amazon, for the last 3 years, the earnings reports beat the Wall Street forecast. So earnings-wise, they look strong in the eyes of Wall Street. Now, let's look and see how the earnings kind of compare with the profits and the revenues and the income, okay? Because they can be entirely different, not always, but they can be. For those of you just jumping in, hello. Welcome to the channel where we talk about everything US headlines. And if you have a ticker or something you want me to look at, pop it in the comments, or you can also just ask me directly, just send me a message, that's fine too. Right here for 2025, 2024, and 2023, what I want you to notice is that everything is green and good. There's not even any red there. So their earnings reports were very much correlated with their revenue and their profit and their income. Yeah, it doesn't always work that way, but this time it does. And if you want to see the forecast, which again, I don't really look at too much, but if you do, here it is. 63 analysts looking at the forecast. They give it a max estimate of 360 and a minimum estimate of 175. There's that. But again, I wouldn't put much stock into that. Yeah. Garbear, thank you for the likes. Yes, hello. Welcome. We're talking everything U.S. markets. Dun, dun, dun. And let's see, that was Amazon. Now we're going to talk about Supermicro. Why are we going to talk about Supermicro? Because the U.S. prosecutors just charged Supermicro, some of their employees, with smuggling NVIDIA chips to Asia. Let's talk about that one right here. Where is it? Wait, not that. Where's my Supermicro? Unilever, Apollo, Meta. Where's my? Okay. Oh yeah, here it is. U.S. prosecutors charge Supermicro computer companies with smuggling NVIDIA chips to China. We got to talk about this. Yes. Well, I'm not sure if that's good or bad, but anyway. Yes. I'm right now. I'm not sure that's a compliment, but anyway, yes, I'll take it as a compliment somehow in a weird, twisted way. But yeah, here we go. U.S. prosecutors charged Supermicro computer employees with smuggling NVIDIA chips, and they're charged with illegally diverting billions of dollars in NVIDIA-powered servers to China, as shares of Supermicro fell 12% on that. Let's see. Okay, let's take a look here at Supermicro. Let's see if I can get some more information about this. The government was trying to figure out how these high-powered chips have reached China without authorization, as American and artificial intelligence companies such as Anthropic and OpenAI face challenges from DeepSeek and other Chinese rivals. Yes, thank you for the follow. Hello, Ernesto. Okay. And the indictment unsealed on Thursday alleged that the server company's products containing NVIDIA chips are subject to strict U.S. export controls. The co-founder of the server maker Supermicro Computer and a member of its board directors. Okay. Skeppy, the headline. We're talking everything U.S. markets, U.S. headlines, which means right now we're talking about Supermicro. We've been talking about Amazon. We talked about Tesla, Rivian. We're going to get into Apollo. Basically, we talk about the headline news in the U.S. markets, and then we go over here and we break it down on TradingView. So if that's something you enjoy, let me know. Skeppy, if you have a ticker or something, just go ahead and drop it in the comments if you want. Troll, hello. And let's see. We try to make it as fun as possible as well. It's not one of those boring channels. Okay, so here, Supermicro, Supermicro computer, right there, and welcome, ND, Calvin, hello. Welcome everyone who's just jumping in here. If you're wondering what you just jumped into, this is everything U.S. markets and U.S. headlines, and we're breaking down Supermicro right now on TradingView. If you're watching from home, this is on TradingView. And we're getting into chart patterns, getting into indicators, earnings, profits, etc. Yeah. So here we go. Right here, one of the things that you take a note of real quick, first off, is right here, you notice the RSI, Relative Strength Index, is sitting here very much in a neutral position. Joshi, hello, welcome. And when you see this in a very much neutral position, you'll also see the same thing up here. It's consolidating right here, right here. You can kind of see there's the invisible ceiling, the invisible floor, the resistance, the support, whatever you want to call it. It's the same thing. Who is getting charged out for what? Oh, Skeppy, who is getting charged out for what? Yeah, where's my headline? So basically, the co-founder of Supermicro and a member of its board directors. That's basically, yeah, that's because this is about Supermicro. Yeah, so Skeppy, it's kind of a big deal actually. Yeah, an indictment unsealed on Thursday. The U.S. government alleged that I don't know how to say the name, Yi Xian Wali and Stephen Chang worked together to violate the Export Control Reform Act. So basically, as I understand, it's the co-founder and a member of the board of directors. So that's for example, that's if you want to look it up so you can get the names right. That's CNBC, and there's the article title right there. But actually, Skeppy as well. If you want, you can also send me a message, and I can give you the whole article and information directly to you. Yeah, that's either way is fine. But yeah, that's what that's for. If you want to contact me directly with any questions or comments about what we're doing here. Let's see. Thank you for the follows. Ice Fishing Man. Hello, hello. I love the name. And okay, yes, going here to Supermicro. There you go. You can see the pattern here of consolidation, and right here you could say that's the resistance, support, etc. And then let's keep going right here. And remember, we've talked about this before, but these things can go very much overbought for a while before they ever market correct and come down. And that's why even though they talk about the 70 line and the 30 line on the RSI, those are just guides because, again, they're just guides. If you want more information on the RSI or the MACD, because I'm going pretty quickly, just send me a message and I can give you more direct information that way. Right here, if you're looking at this, here is your, yeah, here's a head, and here's a right shoulder, a left shoulder. You notice that the shoulders aren't necessarily aligned or straight, they're crooked and stuff. That's why you gotta have a little bit of Gem Sum, thank you very much. You have to have some creativity in this stuff, because there's your neckline, and it breaks out and goes down. So head and shoulders will break out and go down. The reverse will break out and go up. So it's also true. Dubra, hello, hello. Thank you very much for the likes. Feel free, everyone, to reach out anytime you want, or if there's something you want me to analyze. You know, this is fun stuff here. All right, here we go. Dun, dun, dun. And let's see. Supermicro, a couple more chart patterns. If you change the time frame, you'll also see, for example, I'm looking at the 1 day. You can also use different time frames to see different things. Kato, hello, hello, and thank you for the follow. Let's see, yeah, there's that. Okay, let's look here. Okay, yeah. As you can see, actually, I don't really like this chart that much, but you can see if I pull this down a little bit, pull this up a little bit right here, you'll see other patterns emerge. Like right here, you see the triple top. Again, the triple top right there, that'll lead you to a downward pattern. Debbie, Malo, hello, hello, greetings. This is everything U.S. markets and U.S. headlines. If you have a question or a comment, just drop it in the comments or send me a message if you have a ticker that you want me to analyze. Right now, Supermicro, yeah, is just flatlining. And right here, you can see with less trading, there's less trade volume. The trade volume right now is very, very low. In fact, right now, yeah, volume is at 25.7 million and market cap is at 18.4 billion. And let's see, let me give a here we go. Here's the chart for that. And as you can see, yes, right now it is the land of the bears. It's not doing so well for Supermicro. It's just falling off a cliff. But here we go. Let's go to the earnings side of it. Dun, dun, dun. Quarterly, as you can see, your perspective on the market is different. Dingalo, Benagia, your perspective is, well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. You know, I try to not to be, I try to have a different personality with it. Yeah. but glad you like it. Feel free to drop in the comments a ticker or something if you want me to analyze something, or give me a message and say hello. Hopefully you're doing well. Let's see, that's what that's for. If you need to contact me directly, if you have a question on any of the indicators or the patterns, that's fine. Quarterly right here, as you can see, Supermicro beat Q2, but Q1 and Q4, actually they missed their earnings expectations. Let's see how they did overall as the year. Dun, dun, dun. Right here, 2025. 2025 missed expectations, same with 2024 and 2020. Oh, 2023, okay. So 2023 was the only year that Supermicro actually beat the earnings expectations as the Wall Street put out. So, but even though they didn't beat the expectations, they could still have good revenue and profit. So let's see what's going on with that. Supermicro, Ramatuli, hello, bum, bum, bum. And here we go. How did Supermicro do? Actually, compared to the earnings, compared to the earnings reports expectations, the revenues and profits were actually pretty good. Yeah. Let's see. The only 2025, only thing that was in the red was the pre-tax income and the net income. Otherwise, it was green, looking positive. Green pastures everywhere. Let's see. 2023, nothing but green grass. Same thing with 2024. All green, and we like green grass, right? So there's that. But again, there's how it compares with the annual earnings report. Even though it did miss a lot of the earnings expectations, it still did well with I appreciate that. Thanks for the comments. Yes. It'll get there. And thank you for the likes. If you thank you for the likes and the shares. Feel free to drop me a WhatsApp if you want and say hello. If there's anything specific that you want to talk about, let me know what you like the most. Here we go, and that's Supermicro. And the next one, oh, here's another one we got to talk about. Unilever. I know it's not very popular. It's not always in the headlines like Tesla or NVDA or something. But I thought this was interesting because Unilever is talking about right here. For example, they're talking about talks to sell the food business to McCormick, transforming the owner of Hellmann's Mayonnaise into a maker of beauty and personal care products. Now, Unilever's food division has an equity of $324.4 billion, and Unilever shares rose 9% on this. Yes, so they rose 1.9%, and the stock is down 5% in the last 12 months. So we've got to take a look at this. So let's have fun with this, shall we, guys? Unilever, here we go. All right, let's see. Unilever right here. Where is it? I know I had that here. Unilever. Where is my? Hold on. Yeah, let's look at McCormick first. McCormick. Yeah, here we go. McCormick. Dun. All right, taking a look at McCormick right here. Right here. Okay, and the first thing that we're going to look at right now is the RSI. So McCormick and Unilever talking deal right now. So I know many of you may not have heard about them, but because you may not have heard about them, this might be something good information for you to get you on your way. Krista Coupons, hello. Dun. Right here we are. Here is the RSI way down here at, my God, okay. It said 22. Okay, so McCormick just, holy hell, right here. Here's McCormick. So yeah, that's what that's what the market can do. All right. And it happens very fast. So here, why does that happen? Here's your double top right here. Bang, double top, and it drops like a rock right there. And let's see. Oh, okay, so that, let's see. You're expecting, okay, RSI right now down here of 24, you're expecting that to sometime pretty soon correct and come back up. But remember, remember, these things can stay way oversold a long time or way overbought before they ever market correct. So don't catch a fucking knife too soon. Because like over here, let me show you. Yeah, going back. See, these things can go way, way, way overbought, like right here and right here. See that it goes way overbought before the market corrects and comes down. Keep that in mind, all right? Let's see. And Dingo, let me know. Give me a ticker, man. It's like, what are you looking at right now? Dun, dun, dun. Let's have some fun today. Happy Friday, everyone. Right here, if you're looking for chart patterns, here's a good one. This one actually breaks out. Right here is your double bottom. Double bottom. All right, and then it does break out and go up right there. And also over here, let me bring this down. And oh, here's a good one. Here you see right here. Here's your head. Here's your left shoulder. Here's your right shoulder, and then bang. There's your neckline. Bang, breakout right there. Hick Life. Hello, hello. I love that name. Good name. Yes. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. YOY, thanks for the follow, good stuff. And Dorothy, yeah, hello, hello, greetings to everyone who's joining. And here's your neckline breakout right here, dun, 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 bang. All right, and here we go. Here's a smaller one, it's hard to see, but it is there nonetheless. Here's your head right here. Here's your neckline, or here's your left shoulder, right shoulder. Head, left shoulder, right there. Dun, 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 everybody, and then here's your neckline breakout. So this head and shoulders is very, very small, and it doesn't break out too much. Let's go back over here. Bum, 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 dun, dun. And yeah, okay, so that's McCormick. And McCormick, again, why are we looking at them? Because Hick Life became the #3 fan. Let's see, Hick Life, thanks for the fan club. I appreciate it. And I appreciate the heart. And Nicole Barnes, hello to you too. This is the channel where we make US headlines and the analysis fun and not so boring. Promise we won't put you to sleep. McCormick is in talks with Unilever to merge Unilever's foods with McCormick. Reports suggest an all stock deal, possibly week-long talks. No terms, timing, or certainty is disclosed. But yeah, that's McCormick is in talks with Unilever. So that, let's see, MGen, the graph. This is the price chart right here. This is the MACD, moving average, convergence, divergence. This is the relative strength index. Yeah. Let's see. If you have questions about any of the graphs or any of the indicators, let's see. Hick Life, get ripped off by investing, so I need to learn myself. Yes. MGen, Hick Life, feel free to send me a message if you want. I can give you more detailed info on the indicators, on the chart patterns and stuff like that. How to identify these if you want. Send me a message and I'll give you some more information. Jose, welcome. And if you need more information about how to set up your trading view so you can look at it in different ways, that's no problem too. Just hit me up and then let's go. Okay, so right now also one thing you'll see is when you look at this price chart, you see right here, when there's more price action, there's more trade volume, this is the trade volume chart. And then here, as there's less price action, there's less trade volume right there. Dark Red Room, hello, thanks for the follow. Is this about buying stocks? No, this is an educational channel. We have information, but if you want more information specifically about how to use this to go on in your journey and how to discern the information, again, you can send me a message if you want, but it's not about buying stocks. No. It's helpful information, the best I can explain it. Yeah. And Dark Red Room, thank you for the likes. Messigo, my first investment would be to Messigo. The good humor, Messigo, is always appreciated. Thank you very much and happy Friday to you too. Good stuff. There we go. Let's see. Okay, now looking here at the volume, right now it's at 4.2 million. Market cap is at 14.5 billion. And let's see. Let's go here to the earnings. Done. And right here, quarterly. So for example, right here, when you're looking at earnings, 50%, thank you for the follow. And let's see. For example, when you're looking at earnings, quarterly, annually, what's the difference? Well, obviously one is the quarter, one's the year, but it just depends on what your strategy is, what you're looking for. Quarterly is pretty short term. Annual is what a lot of people aim for, but you can look at both. Marco, hello. Gilver, thank you very much for the follow. So again, the blue part is actually what was recorded for the earnings. The gray part is actually what Wall Street predicted and put out, okay? Lisa, hello. Greetings, thanks for the likes. 50%, I love the name, thanks for the likes. And okay, so Q4 equaled expectations. Q3 beat it and Q2 beat it. So basically what this means is if you're looking at the quarterly side, the quarterly did beat Wall Street's expectations, which means it makes it look strong. Double cheeked, love that name. And if you're looking here at annually, right here, you can have a bad quarter and still have a great year. In this case, the quarters look pretty good. And right here, okay, the annually it looks pretty good too on the earnings, except 2025 it just barely missed the earnings expectations. Not by much, but it did barely miss it. Now what that means is like it just didn't do what Wall Street thought it should do, and if it misses that, that could affect, you know, the value or the price, but not necessarily, because there's many other factors. That's just one of the factors that might be important to look at, okay? That's why we go over everything. Drewski, hello to you too. Happy Friday. Thanks for the joining, and let me know if you have questions or comments. Done. And if there's things that you want to discuss outside the stream, you can always feel free to send me a message right there if you want. Let's go here to statements. What are the profits? What are the revenues? What are the income? Yeah, and how does it correlate? Mariama, hello to you too. Done. Happy Friday. Looking sharp. Drewski, thank you very much. Happy Friday, and thanks. I appreciate that. Wore my best tie, you know. And okay, so right here, 2023, 2024, and 2025, everything is looking green grass, right? Except for Beniga. Yeah, for example, right? You see the WhatsApp number right behind me, Dingo. Just right there, contact me on the WhatsApp. That's fine. Done. Yeah. And let's see. Yeah. Okay, now looking right here, done. You can see for 2023, the only thing that was red, besides all the green grass, was the pre-tax income and the net income right there. Done. And everything else was green. So, for example, in this case, it doesn't always work out that way, but the earnings look pretty good. And just like I said, just because you have good earnings doesn't mean that you're going to have good profits and revenue. And then right here, yeah, done. Okay, so that's McCormick, and let's hold on one second here. For example, UL right there. That's what I couldn't find. Okay, now let's go to Unilever. Unilever is UL. Let's see. Why is it not there? Okay. Jim Sum, hello. Thanks for the follow and the likes. Done. Okay. Right there. Okay, so here's Unilever. Done. Okay, let me adjust some of the numbers here so this will line up a little bit better. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, there we go. And okay, dun, dun, dun. Dennis Saru, thank you for the likes dun, 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 and the follows, everyone. Welcome, welcome to the channel. We talk about everything U.S. markets, headlines, and we make it fun and interesting. And we do not only charts, we do earnings, reports, indicators, etc. And also, we go through this pretty quickly, but if there's anything that you want more specifics about, feel free to send me a message. There's the information right behind me. Yes. And here we go. Bum, bum, bum. Let's do this. Okay, changing. Okay, so right here, looking at Unilever, because Unilever is in talks with McCormick for a possible sales spin-off of its food unit. So here we go. Dun, dun, dun. Right here, 26. Right now, the RSI is at 26. Unilever is also dropping right now. Dun, dun, dun. You can see right here, the RSI is at 26, and that correlates with the chart patterns right there, right there. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah. And then here we go. Let me show you this. It just went from being way overbought to now being basically oversold, and that's how the markets can fluctuate. So again, always be aware of that. Just because that's a 70 level, can go way higher than that or way lower than the 30. And then right here, dun, 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 okay, and so one of the reasons, for example, if you're looking for chart patterns, right here, you'll see this is the the double top right here, double top. That is a real chart pattern for it to go downward. So how should I discuss this with you? Jim Song, for example, just hit me up on WhatsApp. There's the number right behind me, and send me a message. Yeah, let me know what you want to discuss. Just send me a message there. No problem. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. And here we go. Another one right here. Okay, and there's the double top. You can see right there, it leads to downward pattern. And let me see, you can always adjust these numbers so that when you zoom in and zoom out, you'll see different patterns emerge. And that's, I encourage it. Also, my time is on 1 day. You can also change your time so that you can see different patterns emerge. Different patterns sometimes emerge on different times. So be aware of that. Yeah, this is okay. Dun, dun, dun. Some patterns have more double tops and double bottoms. Other patterns have more head and shoulders. This one has got a few right here. Here's another double bottom. It leads to the upward trend right there. Courtney, hello, hello. Thanks for the follows. Papa Lajin, hello, hello to you too. Jim Sum, thank you very much. Let's see, I know where I'm going. 50%, love the question. How are oranges doing? Lots of things are going up right now. Many things are going up, not just oranges, but yeah, I'm sure there's many different reasons for that. Good comment though. But for example, gotta have a sense of humor, right? Good stuff. Okay, there's that. Here is, let's see, you can see over here more. Where is this? Dun, dun, dun. Again, zoom in and zoom out. You will see this is kind of like a, what do you see emerge? Zoom in right there. Here is your double bottom. You can see that if you zoom in right there, there's a double bottom, and then bang, it goes up. Maya Rose, hello, hello, welcome, welcome. Everything U.S. markets, headlines, and we make it fun. So, and here we go. If you have questions about any of the things that I'm doing, any of the chart patterns, or any of the indicators that I'm going over very fast, feel free to send me a message, and you can ask for more information. I'll give it back to you. Again, Unilever and McCormick are in talks of a spinoff sale. Volume right now is at 4.17 million. And right here, dun, 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 let's look at the earnings right here. Bum, bum, bum. Let's see. God. Dun, dun, dun. Big girl, hello. See, and cousin Michael, thanks for the share. Manuel, welcome. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, looking at Unilever right now. Let's see, for annually 2025. Bum, bum, bum. 20. Okay, here again, you'll notice that the blue part is actually what was actually earned. The gray part was had projected, expected. And then, for example, right here, so you can see 2025 beat expectations, 2024, let's see, yes, beat expectations, 2023 just barely missed it. So you can summarize and say the last 3 years beat earnings expectations for the year, except for 2023, it just barely missed it. Okay, so that's the earnings. Now let's see how it does with let's see, because Ocean Gillen, hello, welcome. This is the fun channel where we talk about everything U.S. markets. We're looking at Unilever right now because they're in talks with McCormick, and let's see how the statements line up. Okay, here we are, Unilever. Actually, they're not quite as good as the earnings. So, for example, look at 2024 right here. It's all red, and right here, and for example, 2024, you'll notice that 2024 the earnings beat the expectations and they showed good earnings, but when you come over here to the revenue, the profit, the income, etc., it's on 2024 it's very red. The only thing that was green was operating income, and let's see, but yeah, they had negative revenue, negative profit, negative income. And I will say this for 2025, yes, for those of you joining, welcome to the channel, Everything U.S. Markets. 2025 was very and okay, okay, and then for example, 2025, I want to show you this. Everything was positive. Looking back here, the earnings, if you right here on the earnings 2025, you'll see that they beat the earnings expectations from Wall Street. And let's see, Francisa Manzo, hello. Let's see, Eric, this is the information for trading. Yes, this is not a sales channel, but we give you all the information. If you want more specific information than what I'm giving you here, feel free to contact me, and I can give you more information about the earnings or the charts or the indicators, stuff like that. But yeah, this is very, it's information that can be used for trading for sure. Thanks for the question, Eric. And Francisa Manzo, hello. And we try to keep it fun, and learning doesn't have to be boring, is what I mean. And there you go. Done. Okay. And here we go. So there's that. So the earnings were good, and this time on 2025, the earnings were also good. Yeah. Now looking, that's Unilever. Now let's look at Apollo. Apollo also is in the headlines right now because they're talking about some of the fears with software and AI. It says the AI troubles with software are not going away anytime soon. And he talked about how it says the sell-off of software stocks from fears of AI disruption is not over. And the industry does not know how the software story will even evolve in 1 to 5 years because tech is changing so fast, and it's changing a lot, right? So that's why the software industry is right now actually very volatile, including companies like Intuit, HubSpot, and Salesforce. They're all very volatile right now. But yeah, Dennis Shiner, welcome. Hello, everyone. Dun. So that's Apollo. Let's take a look at Apollo right here. We will get into oil and more about gold here in just a minute. So that's coming up if you're curious about that. Right here, let's go here to Apollo. All right. Here is APO Apollo. Boom. Ian, hello, and welcome. If you have a ticker or a chart pattern that you would like me to look at, just let me know. And let's see. Here is Apollo. Okay. Let me bring this over a little bit right here. Bring this down, adjust this. Or if you're watching from home and you're wondering what software, this is TradingView, and we're looking at Apollo right now. Dun. And bring this up. right here. And let's see. Here we go. Yeah, right here, looking at Apollo, right here. I want you to notice right here, you can see the RSI sitting right there is at 46, which is very, very neutral. We talked about a relative strength index right here. When it's between 45 and 55 or 40 and 60, it's very, very neutral, okay? But it just recovered. Here's what I want you to see. Also, it just recovered from being very, very oversold right here. Bang, right there, oversold. And it jumped up, but it was oversold for a while. Again, that's why I say the indicators are just guides. Don't take them for face value. Here's another one on the indicator where it was very, very overbought for a while. Look right there, very, very overbought before ever market corrected and came down. Yeah, and let's see, right here, bam. And that's the relative strength index. You can see how it correlates with the chart pattern right there. Yeah, look at this. It's been a falling knife, bang. And then, okay, so here's one thing I wanted to show you right here, dun. Okay, right here. Do you see that double bottom? Watch that, because when you're looking at the chart for Apollo, the double bottom, remember, it usually means it's gonna go up. Sometimes it doesn't, sometimes there is no breakout, but a lot of times that's what it's supposed to do. So follow that, and then you can see right here, down here, the RSI, it looks like it's continuing to go up. So watch the chart pattern there with the RSI to see what's going to happen next, because again, a double bottom usually means it's going to go up and break out. Not always, but that's sometimes. Tom Duran, hello, welcome. If you're wondering what you just stepped into, this is the everything US markets, US headlines, and then we break down the companies on TradingView, show you how to use the charts, the indicators, the earnings, the profits, etc., so you can decide what to do with it. And if you have questions that we don't cover here, again, just send me a message and let me know what questions you have, and I can get back to you with some of those answers. Leyenda, hello, thanks for the like, and welcome to the fun channel. Let's see, happy Friday, everyone. And let's see, if you zoom in and zoom out, you'll get to see, for example, let me show you one right here. It's hard to see. Right here, you see the reverse head right here. Here's your reverse head right there. And right here, here's your kind of odd looking shoulders. So that makes your neckline. And then your neckline, boom, right here. There is a small, not so big, but small breakout right there. If you can see that. That's what the reverse head and shoulders is supposed to do. There's the reverse head and shoulders, which is like a reverse, and then there's the head and shoulders like that. So a lot of times they counter each other out, okay? So, bum. Here we go. Let's see. Oh, here's another one right here. Again, you're looking at a double bottom right here. Here's your double bottom, and boom, it breaks out and goes up right there. Dun. And here's your, you want a breakout? Here's your breakout. Bang! Look at that. It's almost like a hockey stick going straight up. Okay. So there's that. Dun. And then right here. Here's here's your double bottom right there. Bang! There's the breakout. Okay. There's just a couple chart patterns for you. If you want to know more about the chart patterns, just send me a message and ask for more information. And then let's see. Also, there's the MACD. I'm not going to touch on it right now because I've talked about it already. But if you're just joining and you want more information about the MACD, just send me a message. Let's go on to the earnings. Okay. I want you to notice that right now, when there's the price action is going down and it's less right now, you'll see less trading volume. See right here, less trading volume. So right now the trade volume is only at 5.3 million. The market cap's at 64.4 billion. And right here, dun. Look, okay, this is the earnings report. You have what Wall Street expected right here in the gray, and you have what is actually recorded right here in the blue, okay? Now, what does this even mean, right? Marine, hello, and welcome. Rocky, thank you for the follow. If you have questions, let me know. But right here, for example, the blue is what is actually recorded as an earning. The gray is actually what is expected by Wall Street. So if you can beat Wall Street, that looks strong for your company. Gloria Crystal, hello, hello, welcome, welcome. Dun, dun, dun. And right now we're breaking down Apollo because they're in the news right now for their software. And so you can summarize by saying the last 3 quarters all beat Wall Street expectations, so it looks strong, but you want to look at annual also because that's more of the long-term picture. Okay, so annual right now is 2025, 2024, and 2023. All 3 years, as you can see right here, all 3 years beat expectations. You see the blue is over the gray right there. So that looks strong for the company because it looks like they're beating Wall Street and they're getting good earnings, beating Wall Street's expectations. Why is that important? Because that tells you that, hey, let's see, Timothy Flanaga, hello, hello, greetings and welcome. That can also adjust the value. It can also adjust the stock. It can also adjust the investments because that tells the investors that they're getting more earnings than expected. But that's just one piece of the puzzle. You want to look at all pieces, okay? So right here, statements. Let's go here. How do the statements correlate with the earnings, okay? Right here, they're not so good. Actually, looking at Apollo, there's a lot of negative here. So again, just because the earnings look good, okay, they look good, but doesn't mean that the profits, the revenue is going to be good. Like right here in 2024, you have negative total revenue. You also have negative net income. In 2023, however, you had good total revenue, but yeah, the net income was also negative in 2025. So bear that in mind. Now let's take a look here. Go back to the chart. That was Apollo. Now, one of the other things that we have to talk about is, where is it right here? Yes, oil. Is it going to 166 a barrel? Well, oh my God. Well, let's hope not, right? But okay, again, according to the headline, $166 per barrel oil is possible. The Middle East oil gives a clue to where the oil price could be if the war rages on. Let's hope it doesn't. But here we go. So Dubai crude oil prices surpassed 150 a barrel as the Strait of Hormuz is still crippled by the war, and Brent crude prices have surged 50% since the start of the war, and trade around 106 right now. That's for Brent. Okay, now let's see. Again, Dubai crude oil prices surpassed $166 a barrel to a new record high on Thursday. So now let's take a look at this. Let's see. KVLA, welcome, welcome. Let's go over here to, let's take a look right now at in right here, Exxon. So with all this price action in oil, what's Exxon doing? Boom, boom, boom. Here we go. And as you can imagine, Exxon's chart is going up. Yeah, so it depends on what you're in. What's going on right now can either help you or hurt you. If you're in hospitality or tourism, it may not be the best thing, okay? Thank you for the like, KVL. If there is a ticker or something you want to ask about, feel free to drop it in the comments, or if there's something I'm going over too fast, just send me a message and ask questions more specifically if you want. There's that. Right now, you'll see right now the RSI is sitting here at 64. So right here, it's not overbought at all. Again, the market just keeps correcting and it keeps going up, okay? Right now, we do have a little bit of consolidation. You can see that. There's a temporary pause in the hockey stick going up, but you see the invisible ceiling, you see the invisible floor. That's what we call consolidation and continuation. And you can see it down here. How much? KVL. That's a very good question. Let's see. Wait. How much? Wait, hold on. I can't quite understand your message. How much PFD Alaskan will get? Only 1,000 for all that oil. Okay. Actually, I'm just about to step off here, but for example, send me a message KVL and I'll get back to you. I'll be on later again as well. Permanent fund. Okay. That I don't have the answer to at this moment, but send me a message and I can get back to you with more. Okay? All right. There's the number right behind me. Send me a message and I'll get back to you with the information.